I must say that I am very, very sad this morning listening to how the conversation about the canker of illegal mining has been debased. It is so sad, so sickening, that I feel sick already just listening to Ejapa Mesa try to justify acts of impunity, acts of criminality, irresponsible acts that threaten our collective survival as a people. Doc, there is no gainsaying the fact that the alarming levels of illegal mining we are witnessing in our country today poses an existential threat to all of us. MPP, NDC, CPP, PPP, LPG, neutrals. All persons in Ghana face an existential threat as a result of the alarming levels of illegal mining across the length and breadth of Ghana. Look at this beautiful land called Ghana. A land blessed by God and endowed with many resources. Look at the state of Ghana today. A blessed land that today lies in ruins, marked by coffin-like water bodies, marked by hanging communities, marked by depleted forest reserves and droughts. That is the enormity and the seriousness of the problem we are discussing. The alarming levels of illegal mining in Ghana today, the ravages of same, and the danger it poses to life. Not the danger it poses to a political party. You guys must wake up from your sleep. We are talking about human life. As he himself indicated, when the last tree dies, the last man dies. We all know that. We're taught that when we went to primary school. And we're also taught that water is life. And so any group of people who decide, just for purposes of satisfying their insatiable greed and selfishness, to plunder our forest reserves and destroy our trees and our natural resources, pollute our water bodies with reckless abandon, all in search of gold. They are criminals. They are enemies of the state. And when you get an opportunity to comment on such matter, you don't reduce it to NDC, MPP political football. You don't reduce it to cheap equalization like Ejapa Mesa has done. Look, Galamsey is as old as the oldest person in this studio. I must even say older. Because Galamsey has been with us for decades. Even in the 50s, there was Galamsey. Galamsey simply means gather and sell. That is where that term Galamsey came from. And that Galamsey, which has been with us all these years, had to do with a few locals in mining communities coming together, either to illegally exploit abandoned pits of mining companies like we saw in Obuasi years ago for mineral resources, or to, in their own communities, they use the normal pickers and all that to dig and see if they can get gold, what they call black. They go and wash it, they sell, and they make some money. This is the level of illegal mining that we as a nation knew of for decades. What is happening today that people are protesting about, that we are all speaking against, that the TUC is calling on government to ban, has got nothing to do with that old trend of Galamsey we know. what is happening today has never happened in the history of Ghana. And I dare anybody to adduce evidence to show that what is happening today has happened before. So this attempt by Japan Mesa to cheapen the discussion and equalize, create the impression that Sammy Gyamfi and the NDC people are creating the impression that this is a new phenomenon. It was so under Atta Mills. You are lying. Look, under Atta Mills, under John Mahama, nobody could mine in a forest reserve. LI 2463 is clear. Under the NDC, forest reserves were red zones. You could not give a lease to anybody to go and mine or to even go and do exploration in the forest reserve for gold. And I have sent a screenshot of the old law vis-a-vis the new law to the producer, Anyampofo. And if she's minded, she can put it on the screen for people to see. You will see the old law which was enforced under John Mahama. Forest reserves were red zones. It is this irresponsible Akufo-Addo Bawumia government who through LI 2463 have now introduced a clause in the LI that gives the president the unfettered discretion to grant a lease to an entity to do exploration or mining in a forest reserve. This is the first time we are seeing this. Show me under what dispensation that mining leases were being awarded to companies left, right, center to go and do exploration, prospecting, or mining in forest reserve. Show me. That law is a new law. And that is why President Mahama has promised to ban it. The GJA has supported it, and in fact, they are calling for a repeal of the law today. So look, there is no basis for equalization. You have no classmates when it comes to illegal mining. Stop this desperate attempt to cheapen the discussion by trying to equalize. Why? Under John Mahama. Did you see over 500 seized excavators being stolen or getting missing under broad daylight? Excavators in the custody of the state. Excavators that you cannot even drive on our normal streets. You need, what do they call that? A payloader to transport an excavator. Over 500 of that got missing. And we know where they went to. You gave it to your party apparatchiks, your party functionaries. After you seized them from small-scale miners, some of whom were legal small-scale miners, you gave it to your party people to go and do illegal mining, to destroy our water bodies and forest reserves. Because according to you, party here sika, the tape is there. Ekwawusi versus Frimpong Watson. You said your party needed money. So seized excavators should be released to your general secretary and people like Gizo and all that. Ekwawusi is captured on tape saying it. And he is your former Central Regional Vice Chairman. The tape is available. And that is why Kennedy Japan, who is more NPP than you, sat on my TV and said that small scale miner, they also manindidi. What genefidi and adia koma party ni, or they koma uba. So under John Mahama, we didn't see that. Under John Mahama, you didn't see a secretary of the task force against illegal mining collecting bribe, money, in a brown envelope from Chinese Galamseyers to aid them to go and destroy our water bodies. But we have seen the secretary of the Interministerial Committee Against Illegal Mining, Charles Bisu, who is a communicator in your party and today a parliamentary candidate at Esikado Ketan. We saw him on tape in Anas Arimiyao Anas's Galamsey fraud expose. The same Anas that the Akufo-Addo said he was going to use his methods to fight corruption. Caught this guy on tape collecting bribes to aid Chinese Galamseyers. At the time, the ban, the so-called ban on illegal mining was enforced. Under John Mahama, under Atta Mills, under NBC, even under Kofo, nothing like that happened.